Good evening, everyone. This is Bipin here again. I hope all of you are well, healthy, and safe in this COVID scenario. Referring to my past video, this is the next video which I'm releasing today, which will talk about the mode of possibilities that we can present ourselves to the interviewers. Probably, explain better about the questions from our own experiences. So I'm sure that you'll find it interesting. If you have any feedback, please feel free to provide. Let's go ahead and start. So a typical question that a project or program manager receives is that how do you think a project or program be driven effectively, right? So I will go ahead and start with the project, and probably we can summarize with programs later. Um, all right. So when we are answering to an interviewer, obviously we take the account of our experiences, right? And in past and present, of course, while executing projects. So from my own experience, what I can see typically in a very summarized manner, that project core components are uh, typically the scope, people, and execution system. I'm sure that most of us have seen this kind of slides where people do write about content, which is kind of sometimes very generic, but I would be very specific on this particular video. So when we talk about the project scope, which is typically here, right? So project scope is something which is the first component that we need to identify and we need to analyze, right? All of us during the starting of the project, we receive a project scope and we go ahead and start creating project plans and then start delivering. But as we proceed through the project execution phase, many a time we have seen that probably the scope which are being defined at the beginning is not clear, right? If it is a multiple project, maybe some of the project will be clear, some of the project is not clear. Maybe the solution which were being included within the project scope, that solution itself is not providing the result that is being expected out of it. Various factors and reasons are there, which we don't want to discuss on this presentation, but it is very, very necessary that when we go ahead and start working on a project, the scope need to be identified clearly. We need to know what is the result that we are expecting, right? And in order to achieve that result, what solutioning have we exactly done, right? Whether that solutioning is clear. Now, as a project manager, may not be that project manager have detailed, in-depth technical knowledge about an execution. That happens most of the time, right? So it is the management or the manager's responsibility to connect with the technical parties, okay? Whether that is an execution party or whether that is the technical architect, or I would say the architect, and then understand what they have put within that document, or what is the concept that they are going through, what exactly they want to bring it out of that project, and what they are going to deploy, or what technology or what content or what specifics that they are including within that project to make those things happen, right? It is something like manufacturing a house, right? So when we are manufacturing a house, we need to understand what kind of house we are going to make. If is it a one single floor? Is it a two floor? Is it a three floor? Okay. Is it a four floor? How many floors will be there? Okay. What is the structure going to be like that, right? What is the final output? What kind of design it is going to be, right? Depending on the final output, the person, the whoever is creating that project scope, or the team whoever is creating that project scope, they have they have a vision in mind saying that yes, or they have a picture in mind saying that at the end of the project, I am looking for a house having color blue. From outside, it should look like this. From if I go inside, I should be receiving the staircase on here. This is how I am going to be like this. Okay, approaching the second floor. In the second floor, there is a connector to the terrace. Okay, so all of those content is being visioned at the beginning of the project scope, and so that vision need to be transferred to the project manager so that it becomes easy for the manager to execute the project. So it is not only about a set of document that the manager need to go through, but actually to understand and take the vision out of that scope and see what is the final output is going to be. If that vision comes inside the brain of the PM or the manager, the output will be exactly like being expected at the beginning of the project, right? Now, let's go to the people. So people, very important. We need to know who is going to work on that project. We need to identify, okay? We need to make sure, the PM need to make sure that the right skill, the right people are being put into it. Now, as we can clearly see that there are various kind of people. Why we need to understand about the people? That's very important actually. Because each and every person in the team of execution are different or are individual entity. They have individual way of working. They have individual way of preferences. They have their own understanding. They have their own approachability. So each and every different persons that going to work on that team are individual stakeholders for APM. And in order to execute the work by that PM through that team, he should not be looking into this entire team, but he should actually segmentize it to individual party or individual person and apply the respective, you know, I would say techniques, okay, to get the work out of that person or to get the work being done by that person. Right? So if a person is very approachable, it's very easy. But if a person is not that approachable, but very good with technology, so there is a different approach to get the job done. Now, with the approachable person, if he is very approachable, he is very willing, but he may not be technically very sound. But in that particular case also, a different method the PM need to think about to get the right output from that person. Okay, if he needs technical support, the person need to be provided with the technical support. Okay, you cannot simply omit that person just because that he is not technically sound. Now going to the person who is technically very sound but may not be approachable. So you need to find out what is the best way to communicate with that person. Okay, the PM need to find out what is the best way to communicate. What is the best way to keep him inside the project track. Okay, keep him inside the project track and let him understand, saying that you need to do this is what. And there are some person who might say that I'm very technical, so I know how to deploy this, so why this PM is coming and then micromanaging me. So in that particular scenario, the PM cannot micromanage. Okay, PM cannot micromanage. There are parties where people are very divert minded, right? Divert minded in the sense like their mind will be diverted. They will be busy with the project. They will be also in parallel busy with some other activity. Maybe they will be engaged with multiple projects, right? So in that scenario, maybe with that person, the PM need to constantly follow up to make sure that the jobs are being done. Okay, in some part, the management techniques will change. This is where the styles are coming, which I will be explaining later, right? So this is how the team of people, and how to handle or how to get or be part of that team and then get that job done out of multiple people, which are individual stakeholders in the project, that need to be included or that need to be considered. So this is a very important piece. These are all important pieces which I am actually listing down here. At last, I can say the execution system. Now, this execution system, it may be Scrum, it may be typical PMI processes, it can be a company specific or organization specific processes. It can be anything, right? It talks about a system. It is something like a railway path, right, where the rail runs, right? So that path is there. The rail runs. Rail might be using diesel, to run the engine, but rail runs through that path, right? And then rail might be using electric rail, where the rail engine will be running. So end of the day, that path, it can be anything, right? End of the day, the path can be anything, but what we need to understand, what is the execution process that this project need to be driven, that the PM need to understand, that whether that is something, whether management is expecting Scrum, whether management is expecting a typical PMI approach, waterfall, or whatever approach that you can define, whether it is a mixture, whether it is a customized approach. At the end of the day, it is all about the job getting done, right? So what is the approach that management is taking? Because from the documentation per se also, or from the typical clerical approach, I would say PM clerical approach, right? So there are certain clerical activities which the project manager or program manager need to follow. So these particular definitions are coming there, but it doesn't mean that this is the only thing through which the work can be done. Okay, it may be that Scrum is being selected. Okay, maybe Scrum is being selected, but at the end of the day, maybe waterfall system is working with that project. So as the project line goes, we need to see. Also, there are projects like product deployment, software deployment, where the Scrum is very strictly followed. Why? Otherwise, the work will not be done, right? So we need to understand with the project what particular execution methods or execution system is being decided to be applied, and how best we can utilize that system to get the job done, right? So all of these three components are coming into the picture. Now we talk about consistency. Okay, this talks about the preparation task, right? This is all about preparation. These other components which will be there, a scope will be always there till the end of the project, because there may be project scope changes. People will be always there till the end of the project, right? Till the time the job is getting done, the people will be there. Execution system will be there. Today is Scrum thing is being done, so reports are coming. Okay, we need to create the report, send it to the respective management stakeholders, and all of those things will be there till the end of the project. So these all are nothing but the core components. But along with that, the biggest and most important thing, this I can say, is point A. Biggest and most important thing is point B. Okay, there is say 6 months that we have to pass through the project. 6 months we have to pass through the project. Okay, so what will make sure that by utilizing all of these components that is being provided to a manager, how that manager, along with the resourcing, this is the scope, people, system, about the tools and resourcing and people and all of this, how a manager can deliver that project in 6 months timeline, right? This is a very big question, how a manager can deliver this in 6 months timeline. There are certain things which is called as consistency. There is a consistency required. What do you mean by consistency? We say that discipline, being a discipline or discipline is something which is very important. Fine. It's very important. Fine. But how hard it is to be followed, right? So it's all about practice. So we have to enable practice on this. So what is the practice? Example, discipline I will talk about. Say there is a report which is being expected every Monday morning before 9 o'clock. So as a PM, it is his discipline which will allow that PM to send that report on every Thursday or Friday, whichever way the end of the day or end of the week is being followed, to be sent to the respective management stakeholders, so that on Monday morning 9 o'clock, once that person opens his laptop or inbox, they see that report, right? That particular report has to go to that person every week, whether there is a vacation schedule, holiday, or a person is not available. This report has to go. It has to go. If the project is for 6 months, okay, this report has to go for 6 months every week before Monday morning 9 a.m. That is about discipline. Example, there is a meeting happening, a PM meeting, program meeting, right? Or program meeting or project meeting is happening. That meeting has to happen. Whether that is for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it has to happen. The PM or the program manager or project manager, whichever designation you say, that person need to open that bridge. Whether people join or not, it doesn't matter. Why? Because that forum is required. That forum is required for the other party. There may be people who has questions. Okay, they might be sending an email to the program manager saying that I need an assistance on this particular subject. Okay, if a bridge is open, every week, it becomes easy for that person to speak about. There are subjects which can be lost in the mind. Okay, it comes all of a sudden saying that I have this particular challenge which I need to discuss with the program manager. The bridge is not there. Program manager keeps on canceling, saying that no subject to discuss, no subject to discuss, right? But end of the day, I do remember saying that I need to connect with that other PM, okay, to take some input about his project, which is having dependency on mine. I need to know when exactly his servers is going to be built. So that I need to make the necessary preparation. Or is his project changing? Is his application changing? That he's about to deploy say 5 application, but I'm hearing that there are decrease of application or increase of applications. Okay, there are increase of components. He's having a design change, right? So a bridge which is being scheduled every week need to follow. That's called as discipline, whether people comes or not. So discipline is something which need to be a practice. This particular consistency, it is part of consistency. Always, it is part of consistency. Now coming to accountability. Accountable. Example I'm giving. Okay, a project is my project, and I'm getting few servers being built. Not my responsibility. Okay, server being built by some other guy. Say now I work for security division. Okay, so I'm a security PM, say for example, and I have a few servers to be built, and I give that building request to the party which is not my party, different party, right? I give it to them. They have an ETA of 7 days or 10 days, whatever ETA they have given to me. It is my job. It is my job. Those are my servers which is getting built. It is my job to speak to that guy, find out if he is busy. Okay, whether their PM is actually following up with his party to get the job done. If that PM is not doing the job, it is my box, it is my machine which is coming to me. I need to go ahead and find out who is actually going to build that box. Whether that person is so much busy, he is busy, he is not busy. Okay, he might be on leave, who knows? He might be on leave. His manager might have assigned job and he has gone for some medical leave, some family emergency. This guy is gone. Okay, for 5 days. For 5 days, no work. He has not given handover to anybody. Nobody knows in his department that my work is pending. So it is my job to find out with that person, not only by sending an email to a PM and thinking that that PM will respond back. No, that is not how. This is the accountability. It has to go here. Consistency. Accountability. I need to be accountable for my thing. I need to make sure that my thing is getting done. Tomorrow, for example, if I'm building a house, my own house, if I'm having a contractor, I hired a contractor. Contractor did not bring the necessary workforce with him. One day there is rain happening and he is gone. Contractor switch off his phone. My house is pending. After 15 days, I have a ceremony to open my house. There are critical work pending. What I will do in that case, I will take my car or whatever mode of transportation. I will go to that contractor's house and find out why he did not come today, why his people are not coming today. That's its accountability, right? So it's very important. These things are all part of the practice. Ownership. These two particular points are kind of, both of them equal, because sometimes what happens is that ownership is something which probably, you can link it to whatever I have said, and accountability, ownership, both things will also come to something like if somebody is assigning a work to me. Okay, his project is depending on me. Okay, so I need to make sure that I finish my work on time so that his project will be able to start. I cannot give him an excuse in the last minute saying that, oh, no, there is some design change happened, so my project is delayed by 3 months. What will happen to his project? His people are lying, standing by. He is waiting for certain component which is going to be from my project to his project, and his project will be able to drive further. That is ownership, accountability coming into the picture. So as a manager, these things are all coming under the consistency. We have to be consistent with our execution of the system, being a part of the system. Respect, manners, and these two subjects are very important. Whether that resource, sorry, this T is gone. So whether that resource is an engineer, not engineer, a newly passed college pass out person, just joined, may not be having too much technical knowledge, may be having technical knowledge, a person very senior management, a person who is your colleague, a person who is junior to you, it doesn't matter. The matter is that as a PM, when we are dealing with the project and the people, we need to have two subjects, which is respect and manners. Because it's very well said. If we respect a person, give respect, take respect. Give manners, take manners. Okay. So we give respect and manners to the people with whom we work, and we get right output. Okay. If we misbehave somebody, or say, if we say hard word, saying that why are you not able to do this job? I told you why the change is not getting approved in 1 hour. You can do it just like this. Why you are not able to talk to that guy? Okay. There are ways. Instead of this format, what can I do to help you? That is the question. What can I do to help you? Okay, you are getting stuck with so and so falana person. Okay, fine. Let me go ahead and talk to him. I have his number. Give a call to that guy. Give the helping hand. Raise the helping hand. Give it to that person. And tell him that come with me. I will help you. Right? So this will make the entire change. This will help the PM to align resources and develop a team. Unless the person asks, how can I help you? Or how can I provide any services? Can I provide any services to you? Anything that I can do for you? That question makes lots of change in a project, right? If a person, say for example, minor example I'm giving, okay? Technical parties, the technical person generally, they will be very focused in technology, right? They don't want to work with PowerPoint or Excel sheet. It's not mine, right? So I faced it myself. So I kind of, so in that manner, they don't want to work with documents. It's just like creepy things. You go ahead and type out content. Who is going to review some grammar mistake, this, that? That's where it comes. If we are creating a report, if you are creating some Excel sheet, try to help them. Most of the people, sometimes VLOOKUP is a problem even for managers also. Sometimes, right? So when comparing data, it may be technical data, but you can always help them, saying, okay, you are not able to do it, let me do it. Take it on a sharing screen sharing sessions, whatever system you have or we have. Okay, go ahead, take that guy in, tell him to share the screen, tell him to not his screen. You have to do it as a PM. We have to do it. Like open the Excel sheet. So him, okay, can we move this particular content from here to here? Okay, let me go ahead and move. Okay, this is how I am doing it. Can you see it? Teach him. Okay, this will create the relations. This will create the connect. This will create the alignment with the team, and that's how a complete team is being formed when we are executing the project. So consistency of all of this content is very important to get a project being executed on time, right? Coming to the last content, project managers working style, very important. I don't want to kind of, I'm not saying that something is good or something is bad. Sorry about that. But what I believe or what I do generally is that whatever I can do, I do it. Simple. Okay. Except logging inside the machines and do the work. I'm not supposed to do it. I am not a privileged user or whatever. So according to the systems and all, I don't want to touch on my servers. I don't have IDs and all those things. So I don't cross. I understand my KPI, but I would like to help people. How the helping happens, the way that I have said about, right? Some content, something, creating a report. Okay, helping the team to explain a particular subject to management, right? Sorting out the things, getting the work done in a typical, we used to say object oriented programming. I think around 22, 23, 24 years back, right? So object oriented programming on modular, small circles, dividing the entire delivery into small circles, make small circles of it and put the things within it, then say phase A, phase B, phase C, phase D, getting the entire job done. Segregating a particular work cannot be done in one single go. It has to be done in parallel. or it has to be done in phases, parallel. So how to segregate? Okay, this entire solution need to be achieving this result. This will go to this technology, this will go to this technology, this will go to this technology. Segregation. So wherever there is a way to help people or to help the team, to help the individuals to get the job done, that's what the PM need to do. PM need to call out people. Don't wait for somebody to come back. Okay, these are all different styles that you can see, right? Have to call, have to find out, have to see if there is a testing need to be done. If you don't have people, do you have certain contact who can help you for 30 minutes, 15 minutes? It's a 15 minutes testing. You don't need much of effort. You don't need to arrange too many things or too many resources. Do you have a contact who can help you quickly? Why not to go ahead and utilize that contact, right? So this is all creating the relationship with the people and the project manager's style. It's not always about sending an email. Send an email, waiting for somebody to respond back. That is not the right way. After 1 week, that person will respond. Find out, call somebody, send an email, call someone, pick up the phone, call someone. That person is not responding. Send a WhatsApp message. We have WhatsApp and all of this, methods through which communication can be done. Nobody will feel bad about somebody sending a WhatsApp message saying that, hi, good morning or good evening, hope you are doing well. I just sent you an email. Can you please help me with this? Okay, with a very polite and well-behaved manner. If somebody is sending a communication, I don't think people will respond back on a very bad way. They will always appreciate that, right? But it doesn't mean that the person has to be pressurized. It should not be like a cunning person saying that I need it. No, it's not like that. There is a way. Sending email, calling somebody is not picking up, send a message, wait for 1 day. Okay, wait for that person to come back. The moment person sees that message, when we are sending an email, enabling acknowledgement, and then see whether the person is reading that mail. Reading that mail means that person has read it and he will respond back, wait for 1 day. So there are different styles that PM need to follow. So that's very important for a project execution. For a project manager who follows all the possible means, that project will happen on time with all outputs. And a typical, which I have faced an experience from my own experience, that a PM, whatever the PM writes on the project plan, end of the day, against each task and each responsibility or each deliverable, a PM has backup plans within his mind, multiple backup plans. Can I do it with this person? Okay, by default, I should be doing it with this person. But if this person not available tomorrow, whom I can approach? That is not there in the project plan, but that's there inside project manager's head. If that person is not doing, who else can do it? Okay, whom I have to take help? It's all about getting the job done. The focus has to be getting the job done. It's not about just driving the train. It is about reaching the station. We have to reach that station. That is the objective. If an engine driver think about only driving the train, that will not fulfill. If a project manager will only think about driving the project, just keep on driving. 6-month project, 12 becomes 9 months. 9-month project becomes 12 months. That is not what is appreciated by any business. That's always something not acceptable, right? So this is about typical questions that we used to receive it. How can I go back? We used to receive it. We can say during our interviews sessions, and this is a I'm not able to go back to my previous slide. So the question which talks about how efficiently the projects and programs. So programs is nothing but compositions of projects. So if we have the best practices being followed in projects, program also, why not? Program also will execute very well, and even it will go to portfolio level as well, right? So I think I have spoken too much on this, but I'm sure that this is just one way of presenting the skills that we have. I'm sure that whoever watched this video, they will get an idea. Maybe please feel free, comment back if you have some additional inputs. From my own interview per se, I'm creating videos which is more in detail and talk about the subjects in a very like I'm including additional slides into that, which some of the micro content which tells about my understanding about the industry a little bit more well. but this is just a trial video, which I would say not trial video, kind of introductory video, you can say. It's not a trial. So introductory video which I have thought that I will put through. If you have any input, please go ahead and provide. Your inputs will be always welcome. Thank you very much. It has been a long session, and I guess if you want to connect back with me, you can always uh, write me write me on my email address, and I will I will definitely respond back to you. Thank you very much. Have a good evening ahead, and take care.